evening. This is the video newsletter for Buy Sell Short for Tuesday, April 12th. You are going, I'm sure, what the hell happened to the market today? And, we've got the reason you read in the headlines, and then we have what I think is the real reason. The reason in the headlines, and got the futures off to a rocky start today, was news yesterday. Not really a surprise unless your head is up your ass, but Japan came out and raised their level for their nuclear crisis to the same level as Chernobyl. I guess they were at a 5 rating. They now raise it to a 7. Even though the radiation issue that's out there is 10% of what we had in Chernobyl, it didn't matter. Nikkei dropped 1.5%, and we almost dropped as much here in the States, down almost 150 at one point. The Nikkei was down 160. That was the excuse for the market drop. The real reason for the market drop, in my opinion, and let's pull up that chart, was the price of oil and actually commodities in general. I sent out that alert right after the open yesterday saying we were getting out of all our energy plays. Just didn't feel right. We had that Libyan, the rumors of the Libyan peace talk. The stocks really didn't act that great the last couple of days, and, it was one of those things, a retrace was needed. Had I known that Goldman Sachs had actually come out with a note yesterday saying, essentially, get the hell out of commodities right now, we probably would have went short. I actually should have had us go short anyway. My bad. As they say, hindsight is a great thing if you've got a time machine. But the real reason we are seeing the market down the way it is right now is we're seeing a rotation out of the commodity stocks. Gold down big, oil down big, a lot of the commodities down big. And the reason this actually has an impact on non-oil plays, the average guy would be going, well, hey, oil is down. That's great for the economy. All these other commodity prices are down. That's great for the economy. What a lot of people don't realize is, and part of the reason we've had this, massive run-up in commodity prices over the last few years is leverage. A lot of these hedge funds buy with very little money down, 10% down. Look at gold. You had that gold hedge fund blow up a month or so ago. They were the largest owner of gold futures. A $10 million fund controlled $850 million in gold. That's what? Almost 10 to 1 leverage. You have the same thing throughout the commodity world. So whenever you see commodity prices come down like they have over the last couple of days, we're down 6%, you see that reflected in other stocks, because what ends up happening is you've got these idiot funds that need to cover the margin calls they have for all the commodities they bought on borrowed money. And sometimes that trade lasts a day, sometimes it lasts 2 or 3 days. But what it ends up eventually happening is all that cash that has been raised gets put to work in other sectors. And I'm thinking it's going to be speculative stocks, small cap stocks, etc. The Russell 2K also got hammered over the last couple of days. We've got the Russell down. We hit a new high, multi-year high, 4 days ago, and since we hit that 860 level, we're down almost 5% in 4 days. Right back down to the 50-day moving average, and right back down to where all this cash that has been raised by all the selling in commodities over the last 2 days will probably start getting put to work. As for the indices, we had that, 90% of the time is a bullish formation, the rectangle formation. We actually broke to the downside. Now, this is actually a pretty rare thing to see. More times than not, it will break to the upside. Let's see if we get a snapback up above it tomorrow. And what we really need to see is a move back up above 12,300 to get any sort of, warm feeling about that. Daily chart, you can see the same. We retraced back to the 20-day exponential. And even during that Egypt crisis, when we got below that 20-day exponential, we bounced back above it within a day or so. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen again. And I mean, throughout the last, several months, once we got to that 20-day exponential, the Dow bounced back nicely. So you've got a lot of these chat room message boards posters going, crash, bottom in. The same idiots who are out, posting the end of the world is here last month on Paddy's Day at 11,500. they're out here again saying the same crap. I mean, you just get used to it. Late in the day, we saw a dip as traders, started raising cash, started believing the panic and the hype, and, that's great. Sell-offs like this breed opportunity, especially with the Russell 2K down 5%. Love seeing that. As I mentioned in the chat room, the Popper scanner is down to 12 plays. We got as low as 11 plays today. 10 plays is a buy signal for the market. Typically calls a bottom within a day or so. So we're very close to that, at least going off the Popper scan. SMH has been really, really weak again. I mean, the SMH has really sucked over the last month. Just a lot of selling in technology stocks. We'll have to see if we get a bounce back on the SMH tomorrow. We'd really like to see the SMH above 34.50 so that we can get a better warm, fuzzy feeling on the market if you want. But let's jump into some stock plays. CYTK. We've actually gotten a little bit overweight on the biotech stocks, especially the bios trading in the $1.50 to 2+ area because they've been very active and given some very, very nice moves over the last few days. CYTK, we jumped into this one yesterday, $1.50. First target was 170, got as high as $1.69 today. Next target is $1.80. They present data on their phase 2 drug this Friday at the AAN conference. Nice action on this one today. The market just caught up with it late in the day and, gave us a perfect opportunity to add to our positions on this one. And I think this is going to continue to be a story this week. What we've been seeing happening on a lot of these bios, and let's take BOID, which is one of our fat winners from yesterday. I mentioned in the chat room or in the Popper video Sunday. You see a lot of pop and pullback, and BIOD hit a new high, just like I said it would in the chat room. After it has a big update, usually breaks higher the next day, and that's exactly what it did. So, a lot of these biotech plays in this market, they move great. They scare the shit out of you when they do a dip, and then they run to new highs, essentially shaking out traders. And actually, if you look at the CYTK, actually, no, that's not the one, ACAD. You see this print here, $1.60? Absolutely bogus. The low of the day was 168, and that actually came when the stock was trading at $1.77. The next trade was $1.68. We've actually been seeing this on a lot of stocks. Another one later, I'll show you the same thing. So the robots are very, very active in this market right now, going after stops out of the blue. So, it's one of those things. The only time I play stops is when I get up and leave the computer. Otherwise, they're always mental stops. And the reason being, you've got these programs that see all these stops out there, and you got a robot going, hey, I see 5,000 shares sitting at $1.65. All it's going to cost me is 2,000 shares to drop the price down there. I steal those shares, back up. I just stole 3,000 shares and made 10 cents on it. That is how these robot programs work. As for ACAD, we broke out yesterday by a penny and then got a retrace, and then today just got smacked down again. As I've mentioned, Rule of 2 biotech stock, these high-priced biotech stocks look great. The reason we like this one as well, high cash, no dilution risk right now, which is what I want to see in some of these bios that we're playing. So looking for a snapback on this one and a breakout of 188. Hopefully on a green market. That's essentially what these are going to need, is a bounce back in the market so that traders can grow their balls back. OPXA. This is actually my favorite play over the next couple of days. They're releasing some key data at the same conference as CYTK on Thursday. The last time these guys released data on this drug, the stock went from 150 to 3. It doubled. And usually you do not give a poster presentation at a major biotech conference and have bad news to report. It just goes without saying that is what you usually expect. Nice chart setup here. We got that breakout above the 2 level, but, scalpers came in and it pushed back down today. $1.90 area, we're definitely looking to accumulate this one. Nice risk reward on it with very strong support at the 20-day exponential, and a reason and a chart for this one to run over the next couple of days. Again, this one got caught up in traders' fear in the market today. any sort of greenage in the market tomorrow, and you'll see all these biotech stocks that we're in go on a nice little run. DSCO, flash from the past, but another nice cash-rich biotech stock. Very nice chart here. Got our break above 2 early in the day before the market started selling off, and then throughout the rest of the day, traders started slowly selling this one out. Again, green market tomorrow, back over 2 we go. Remember how SNSS acted for us a few days ago? You know, annoyed the crap out of us waiting for that breakout, and then slowly went boom over the next couple of days. We should see similar action on DSCO. And again, you know, we've got a nice cash balance. They raised all their cash back in February. No need for cash for a while. And, you know, that's the big risk on biotech stocks, other than bad data, is dilution risk. And the dilution risk in the bios we're in right now is very, very small. IDN. This is a play we jumped into in the chat room today. The identity stocks, the RFID stocks were on fire today. And the reason was this stock called INVE that went up 100% because they signed a deal with Google to put their RFID technology on posters in one city. Didn't matter. Perfect market, perfect float. Traders came in. IDN, same sort of market. Nice chart breakout here. RSI 30. MACD is about to go positive. Last time it did that, the stock spiked 30. What was it? We went from 125, almost a 40% gain in 3 days. So looking for the same here. Almost broke through $1. That's what'll light this one up. 110, 120, very possible on the chart with 87-cent stops here. Another play on this is USAT. We've played it a few times. This stock had some early selling pressure today, dropped as low as 193, and then went from 193 to 233 in about 2 seconds as traders started jumping on this on its wireless payment option because the Google news that ran INVE, you're going to need technology from companies like USAT and IDN to read what they're doing on the posters. And hot sector right now, nice chart set up here, stops 193. We should see a snapback to the 220, 230 area on this one tomorrow, I believe. Quick mention on IPAS. Picked up some more of this one today at $140. Love these low volume sell-offs on stocks we really, really like. IPAS, one of those. As you can see, whenever they have these spike downs, the next day is usually an up day. We should see a move back to a $150 plus over the next couple of days. And then, of course, the gamer stocks. MCZ dipped under 210, you know, victim of the market and traders just moving to the sideline, but it held that 190 support really, really well. And its peers, GLUU, nice snapback bounce on GLLU today. And then cool, until the last few minutes of the session, looked like it had put in a bottom as well on its 20-day exponential before it got a 10-cent drop on the close. So the gamer stocks look like they put in a bottom here. And, you know, MCZ right back to the 20-day exponential, looking for a snapback tomorrow on a green market in all of these. So that's it for the video tonight. We've got some very nice setups going into tomorrow. We're going to give them another couple of days. If we don't see this bounce materialize, then we can look to raise, go to a high cash stance. But I'm thinking we're going to see a bounce back in the market. We're starting to see the bears come out of, you know, their bomb shelters, you know, that they've been hiding in since they were wrong 800 points ago on the Dow. You know, those clowns always come out right before the market turns. Hopefully it's our turn tomorrow on the market to make them pay. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.